Welcome, everybody. Two Chaps, Many Cultures, episode 104. On a very special day, at least for some people in the world, today is a special day. It should be a special day like today, every day. But we'll talk about this as we express our gratitude to you today. Stay tuned. Hello, world. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the United States. And thank you, Brett, for being on here today on this so important day.
Well, thank you for saying thank you. I'm very grateful for your thanks.
Thank you. And thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh, no. Hey, I'm very grateful for you. And we do not have any audience from the United States today because they're already filling their bellies and stretching their livers with all sorts of adult beverages and indulgement. But why is today such a special day for Americans, Brett?
Well, it's Thanksgiving, as in giving thanks. Handing over something. Is that what it is? I don't know. But it is expressing a gratitude, perhaps, for the blessings that we have and the people that have got blessings. Of course, it's celebrated in that way. It's not all viewed that way by everyone in the US. There are certain historical aspects of it that people have different discussions over, shall we say? And we're not going to dig into those today, but I think every day is a good day for thanks for me personally. Anyway, I try and give gratitude every day. Little journal or something. I write down things that I'm grateful for. It really helps. For perhaps those days where you actually are a bit of a spoilt brat.
Me? Spoilt brat?
No, me.
Me. I think the as I was reflecting over Thanksgiving a little bit, I was reminded of exactly what you said. This pausing at some point in the day, typically at the end of a day, checking in with yourself. What were the good things that happened on this day? Was it something that you accomplished for yourself, so you can be grateful to yourself for doing something good? You might actually be grateful for people around you who helped you accomplish something, or the blessings you have in your life, the circumstances that play in your favor. Expressing that gratitude, I found, makes all the hardship or the perceived hardship of life a lot easier once you recognize, hey, there is something good in my life. There is something that others did for me, that I accomplished, that circumstantially is good for me, is working in my favor. When we become aware of that, everything that we perceive in the moment as negative or as pulling us back or holding us back diminishes. So our mind can only focus on one thing at a time, right? So when we focus on the gratitude, it's hard for us to pay attention to what we dislike or what we struggle with.
Yeah. And of course, there's always, and I know it's a probably worn out phrase, but there's always somebody worse off than you, somebody that's doing it tougher. And I was reminded of this last night, listening to an interview with a gentleman who runs a food bank here in Chicago. And of course, in the times that we're going through at the moment, in the 2020 pandemic era, this is somebody who has done this work for 20 years, and he's expressing his frustrations and the challenges that people are just having, and to basic feeding their family, right? And yet at the end of it, he works into every part of that interview, in every second sentence, some way of saying, I'm blessed, no matter what faith, if you have a faith background, if you don't, whatever, that word blessed doesn't have to be around faith. It is just, like you said, there are parts in this world that work for you. That's what I think as well, right? And you need to recognize those. And that one, that's kind of, I guess we always talk about try not to have a one-track mind, and consider all options. In this particular case, it's good to have a one-track mind in some part of the day and say, let's focus really laser-like on the stuff that we've got, that we can count as blessings, as things that are gifts, and whether they are things that we work for ourselves or they're things that have been provided by others and that we work with these others. That's important.
And I think our minds are kind of primed in that way, that we spend a lot of energy on the things that we don't like or that we like to improve. That's how humanity is making progress, has been making progress, because we see things that don't work and we spend energy on fixing them, which prevents us from pausing and taking inventory of the things that actually do work, right? So thankfulness is, I think, a mindful practice, and I am aware that I'm not always doing that. And I'm suspecting that many of you out there listening, watching this, might have the same inclination to rather worry about the things that are not good. So I want to hear from you, no matter where in the world you are, whether it is a Thanksgiving Day in your corner of the world, or whether this is just a regular Thursday. Type it in the chat box. Let us know in the comments, what are you thankful for? What is it that works for you? What was your biggest win today, this week, this month, in this really weird year? Which
is a little weird, yeah,
or a little bit weird.
But there is light at the end of the tunnel. We've got science, as always. Actual facts and actual science and actual research is producing results, and the people that do this work. I mean, where would we be without those people that have done that work for us? Also, grateful for the people that are here. Look, Ted's here. Grateful for people who are watching live. Dagmar, I don't know Dagmar. Here. Maybe you do. Sounds German. Do you know any other German?
Danke, Dagmar. Well,
danke. Yeah, that's right. Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you. Thank you for sticking around for 104, for, suffering through 104 episodes. If you managed to watch all of them or any of them, here we are. Yeah. And this is right. This is just the people around us, right? And a lot of people aren't experiencing the ability to have people with them today, right? Which is something that Thanksgiving has always been about, gathering big groups of family together, and or not family, people that you don't know, right? If you're a foreigner and you're an expat or something, oftentimes you be in the US and you don't know what Thanksgiving is, and you're experiencing it for the first time. It's a good window into the goodness of people and that kind of thing, and what it can bring. Absolutely.
And as you say thanks, or as you express your gratitude, check in with yourselves, whether it is simply a throwaway phrase that you've been trained and conditioned to use, or whether you have a certain feeling connected to that. And the feeling of gratitude that's typically when it feels a little bit warm inside, or you at least that's what it feels like for me. I don't know what it feels like for you guys, but when there's an emotion connected to gratitude. And in Western, quote unquote, Western cultures, expressing thankfulness is often a more of a autopilot, automatic, linguistic exercise. Other cultures don't express it the way that we do, with dedicated words to it. They probably show gratitude more through their actions, and that is something that I think, as individuals, we can check in with ourselves. How are we being thankful? How are we feeling that emotion of gratitude, and how are we letting people know, and how do we show it to them that we indeed feel that way?
Absolutely. Well, I think we've got Anna here, who also we can say danke, dziękuję,
and gracias, I think.
And gracias. Right? Gracias. Yeah, Anna, look, I'm grateful for people who can speak many languages. like Anna, and does it to such a proficiency, who is speaking, of course, in social media terms of the way that we've been able to leverage that, just as Ted has, right? As annoying as Facebook can be. That's right. It can be annoying. It can be a bit of an echo chamber, but there are tools we've got. I mean,
he's using the tool of LinkedIn to bypass Facebook. That's awesome.
That's very meta. That's very meta, Ted.
Very meta, Ted. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Well, great. Thank you. Grateful. Thanks. But truly grateful for just being able to get up this morning and do this. And now we're going to go up and cook, I guess. That'd be cool.
I'm going to cook a little bit too. Before we go, I do want to say thank you to you, Brett, and not just a throwaway line. I really appreciate what how you've always shown up for this. And sometimes we did it and did it spur of the moment and decided on a topic 5 seconds before we hit the live button. And more often, a lot of planning went into this. And I know you've been taking time off of other priorities in order to continuously do this with me on a daily basis. And when I told my family that, hey, I got a live to do, and they were like, what? This is all well, it is not in other parts of the world, and there are people watching this that are not in the United States. So,
right.
Thank you for your camaraderie. Thank you for being an awesome co-conspirator in this, and let's do more of this.
Well, I feel the same. When I tell people about this, they're shocked. It's like, how did you manage to do 104, over 100 episodes? I say, you can't do it. I mean, if we were doing this on our own, perhaps we wouldn't have done it, but it is the camaraderie and the ability to get on with somebody you really trust and value as a friend, and also a knowledgeable colleague, right? And that is no more expressed in you. So thank you, sir. Absolutely, the same to you. And thank you, Anna. This is great. We've got have a great day. Oh, somebody knows Brigitte.
Oh, no, and the kids. Dagmar's right. Kids in quotes, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Anna. Okay, thank you, everybody. It's going to be a blow. We'll be back tomorrow, by the way. It'll be after Thanksgiving, so after Thanks, maybe.
It'll be a Friday, whether it's black, green, red, yellow, blue, brown, whatever. It'll be a Friday.
Yeah, it's not the 13th, so don't panic. So it's not Friday the 13th. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your day. Talk to you tomorrow. Two Chaps, many cultures are out.